Now imagine this. Losing years of your life you could never get back. Serving time behind bars for a crime that you did not commit. This happened to James Watson, a Boston man who spent decades in prison for a murder that he did not commit. And now he's using his freedom to fight for others. I sat down to speak with him and 3 other people he's already helped. This is what freedom looks like.
Freedom is so precious. I didn't know how much precious freedom was until it was taken from me.
James Watson finally getting to hug part of his legal team that made his dream of exoneration a reality.
I really didn't believe it was going to happen, after all the decades that I've been in.
Watson spent 41 years in prison for a crime he did not commit. At just 20 years old, he was one of 2 men wrongfully convicted for the murder of Boston cab driver Jeffrey Boyajian in November 1979. Watson took us back to where it all happened, the Archdale housing projects in Roslindale.
My hell began 9:00 a.m. Friday, November 16th, 1979. I woke up one morning and went to penitentiary for the rest of my life.
It was an emotional return for Watson, his first time back since 1979.
It's like it's all coming back now. Yeah. That was one hell night. I ain't gonna never forget.
Watson was sentenced to life without parole, but he was originally given the death penalty, but it was abolished in Massachusetts in 1984. Crucial information came from a witness hypnotized by police, and another witness also incentivized by police with the opportunity to relocate out of the housing projects in Roslindale.
What really hurted me the most is, why would they do this? Why would they just pick me out? And when I was home asleep in my bed, just had a son, 13 months. He was 13 months old, my only son on this planet.
At what point did you decide that you weren't going to give up on proving that you didn't do this? Like, was there a turning point?
Yes, my family started dying.
Watson lost cousins, an uncle, mother, grandmother, and aunt while he was behind bars. The loss of his sister hit him particularly hard.
This is hard. I felt like I'd get out of here. There's gonna be nobody but me.
That fear drove him to spend many hours in the prison's law library.
I went there so much, I just fell asleep in the law library.
Watson says he was encouraged to reach out to the New England Innocence Project.
She said, "You have some serious flaws in your case, Mr. Watson." I said, "Yeah, because I'm innocent. I didn't do this."
Work by the organization proved his innocence and ultimately led to his release. The victim's brother and sister-in-law sent a letter to the court in support of his release as well.
We can't give Fred and James back the 40 years they each lost, that were stolen from them. We can't get Jerry's brother back. The very least we can do, it seems like writing a letter, how could we not?
Motivated by his second chance at life, Watson and his fiancée created the nonprofit Confronting Injustice to support people who have been exonerated and negatively impacted by judicial injustice.
It's not just about people who spend time in jail. There's a lot of collateral damage that happens, and no one seems to want to talk about that. And so Confronting Injustice is about naming those things, because we can't address it if we don't even name it.
Right now, Confronting Injustice has a YouTube channel, a newly launched podcast, and now they're working to put a website together. James and Linda are already seeing the positive impact of Confronting Injustice on 3 other men who were also wrongfully convicted. Joseph Pope, Albert Brown, and Robert Aldridge all grew up in prison together. Each of them now has their own organization as well.
We're all recontributing back to the very community that we came from. We're not just coming out here talking about it, we're trying to be about it.
James was such an inspiration. He doesn't know it, but he was an inspiration for us.
I don't even imagine Confronting Injustice not existing because of the experiences that we had, because of the journey that we have taken together, and because of those that we've left behind.
Watson says what happened to him can happen to anyone, and that's what makes his work with Confronting Injustice so important.
This is a must. It's gonna take a lot of our time. It's gonna be some sleepless nights, some long hours, but let's do it.
Now, Frederick Clay was the other man wrongfully convicted for this murder as well. Clay was exonerated in 2017. James and Linda tell me their goal is to continue to build their team at Confronting Injustice to include attorneys and continue to educate people about post-incarceration syndrome.